Coming up tonight, one of the biggest returns of the last few years in pro wrestling. Extreme Rules led to 6 new predictions champions, and AEW invaded Canada. Hey yo, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. Welcome to Max Wrestling episode 396. This is your captain speaking, along with the reigning Max Wrestling television champion, El Jefe, Moses Marquez.
Top of the morning, and congratulations to Canada.
Crowd killed it, as expected. And also as expected, Canada will only cheer for Canadians.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right. I like the diversity. The thing that killed me is those guys. All the floor seating, standing room.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that you. I say Canada, you Canadians, man, hey, my hat's off to you. I ain't got one, but my hat's off to you.
They know how to pack out a building.
I am not standing for that for 2 hours. For 2 hours.
I mean, it was probably longer because they probably taped Rampage or Dark.
No, they do it like the next. Sometimes they do it the next night or on a different show. Like when we went to LA and we did the Forum show, they actually taped Rampage on Friday in Ontario. So sometimes they'll do it in different locations. Sometimes they'll tape it. It all depends on what it is. But I guess they're moving. Well, I don't know. They might still be in Canada. I didn't hear that they're. If I am not able to see any spoilers, then it didn't happen.
Yeah, I guess it depends because obviously they're in Cincinnati next week.
Yep. Oh, that's right.
So before we begin, remember to like and sub on YouTube at youtube.com/MaxWrestling and follow us on social media at MaxWrestlingUK. Now let's jump into our headline this week, which I think, no surprise, is the big return of Bray Wyatt, which most of us knew was coming. We didn't follow the QR. I don't know if you did, but I didn't follow the QR codes. I just looked at everybody else following the QR codes.
I was with you. I was like, you know what? That seems like a little bit too much work for me.
Yeah, let them do the donkey work, and I'll just Google it.
There you go. Just Google it.
But everybody kind of deduced that it was Bray Wyatt. The clues were fairly obvious. But it was no less a huge moment. The crowd was incredible. And it's all anybody was talking about for like 48 hours afterwards. Probably still talking about it for a lot of people.
At least 48 hours. I mean, hell, it's still a hot button topic on TikTok. Apparently, Uncle Dave put his foot in his mouth because, hey, it was a good entrance. It was a this, it was a that. But Bray put on some pounds. And as a hefty guy, why are we getting mad over this?
Right.
Who gives a shit?
He's looking more like now than he did before he left. He looked very shrunken down at Mania and stuff. Like it's so much that we didn't actually think it was him at one point.
True. This is true. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for somebody getting physically fit and the whole shebang. But you know what? Sometimes you just need to be you. And if he's in a better place, let's emphasize that. That's the reason why he was gone for so long. He wasn't in the right place. If he's in a better place, who gives a shit if he's a little husky?
And also, it's not like it affects his movement.
Fuck no. The guy was doing the same shit as Husky Harris when he was damn near 300 pounds.
Like, I always go back to his match with Daniel Bryan at the Rumble. The guy was pretty much the same shape he's in right now, and he was rolling around, diving around, jumping around. The guy can move.
Big guys can move, bro.
There's a difference between being fat and being big framed but still athletic.
Exactly. You could be a big guy and you could be a fat guy.
Yeah. And Bray's a big guy.
And exactly, Bray is a big guy. You may want to call him fat, but I assure you, a fat guy can't do what Bray can. Hence the distinction.
I'm not even half the size of Bray, and I can't do the shit he can do.
You see what I'm saying?
Like, rolls.
You know what I mean? Hey, and he can roll where the rolls.
Yeah, he can roll. We have rolls.
Exactly. There you go. I like that. I like that a lot.
Same with Kevin Owens. He's always had the same
prime
treatment.
Example.
And I mean, he
And
blocked Melissa Joan Hart for saying he needs to lose a couple of pounds.
shit, and has KO slim? I mean, at all?
No.
I haven't. I mean, I think he did like a little bit. He stopped wearing the stupid compression thing underneath the shirt.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, yeah, maybe he got a little bit into shape, but he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
Did Harley Race give a shit? No. Come
Did
on.
Dusty?
Oh fuck, come on,
No.
bro. Yeah, there you go. Fucking prime example. Did Dusty Rhodes give a shit about his weight? I don't think so. And we shouldn't be giving a shit about weight either. Come on, Dave.
What we should be talking about when it comes to Bray is the impact that return made.
Again,
And
you said it beautifully. 48 hours after the fact, still happening.
how freaking perfect that whole production was. I know he's been compared to The Undertaker many, many times in the past, but
Mm-hmm.
I got so many Undertaker vibes from that whole return segment.
It was excellent. It was fucking beautifully done and just piece of piece of piece of piece. And then now, just like how the QR codes and the videos and the teases got you thinking other things. At one point, we thought, okay, well, whatever. If it's not Bray, Karrion Kross is going to get the White Rabbit gimmick back from Lucha Underground, and I'm just like, lawyers, but whatever. But now it's not that. It's different. But then again, now you're looking at it as, are these people, are like all the guys, are they different characters? Are they gonna wrestle with these fucking masks? You know what I mean? Now that cool speculation is out there. He is bringing so much fucking attention. It's ridiculous. And all he did was show up and turn off his lamp.
Yeah. I don't know if he spoke and said, "I'm here," but I was listening for it, waiting for it. But I don't know if the crowd was too loud or if he didn't speak, but the light went out pretty quickly, so I don't know if he actually said anything.
I want to say I heard him say something, but then again, I can't say I did. But then again, if I could just add, beautiful job by Trips for bringing back the fucking logo. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
the NXT, okay, show's over. I was like, okay, you know what? Hey, good show. I enjoyed a good show. What the fuck's going on? And it was great. It was great because you didn't expect it on the main. You expect it on NXT. You don't expect it on the main.
I mean, the idea was in the back of my head because for the whole week, I was feeling bad for Riddle and Rollins because
Oh.
as good as the match was, a lot of people were pretty much convinced that Bray was going to show up at the end. So it was kind of like, come on, I just want to see
Yep.
the end.
It's a little foreshadow. Like, come on, get over with. Yep, I get you.
Um, but when I don't even know what time the show ended, but I was just watching Matt go up the ramp and thought, well, Bray's obviously going to come right at the end because they did the whole tease at the beginning, and
Mhm.
it was pretty much confirmed that they were going to reveal the identity of who it was at Extreme Rules. So you knew it was going to happen right at the end, especially when the main event started.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
I wasn't sure if he was going to use the graphic trick that he did in NXT, but I was expecting Bray to show up right at the end of the match.
Were you expecting this gigantic, like, extravaganza of characters, or were you just expecting just like random fog and then like the lamp just comes out or whatever? You know what I mean? Were you expecting something more simplistic, is what I'm asking.
Probably, I don't exactly know what I was expecting, but I didn't expect like the whole characters and all over the arena and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about it was every element they added to that segment, the crowd popped.
That's true. Every single bit. They were loving every second of it because you didn't know, was he one of the characters? Was it, oh my God, there's the Fiend?
Oh,
And
they
then
popped for that, but
that was huge because they were like, well, there it is. There he is. Wait, oh, wait a minute. And there it is. Some more in the background. So, again, lots of questions
yeah,
after his debut. He's here. Now what?
I guess we'll find out tomorrow. It has to be SmackDown.
Yeah, it fucking has to be SmackDown.
I like the trick they pulled on Raw though, because they knew everybody was going to tune into Raw to see what Bray does next.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't really on the show. All they really did was show the whole segment in its entirety again, which is great. You get the whole segment for free. Um, But he did kind of drop a couple of vignettes and a couple of cryptic videos, and we'll pretty much find out what's next tomorrow night on SmackDown.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they got my view.
Yeah. And it's been questioned, but I'm pretty much convinced it was planned. The door with the blue light tribute to Brody Lee. Beautiful.
You know, I was curious if that was a tribute or not, but okay, good. I'm happy.
I mean, it looked familiar. And then somebody pointed it out the next day, and I'm like, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, the guys did in Discord, but I was like, I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence. I'm not buying it. But then again, I and I'm not. I need to get used to. It's not ran by the old man who doesn't think with a heart, who doesn't have a heart. So
what's a Mr. Brody Lee?
what's a what? I don't know what that means. What do you mean he's making fun of me? I like his act. He's all watching the videos and shit. Who are these fucking young buck fellas? Well, we tried to hire him and they just had to fuck off. Do it again.
Yeah. So the members of what is potentially the Wyatt Six. So all these Firefly Funhouse characters that have come together, come to life. They're suspected to be like Cross. Dexter Loomis, Liv Morgan is supposed to be Abby the Witch, which I wouldn't be surprised if she does join in because she just went psycho after her match against Ronda. I don't know how many people actually saw that, but like she was just backstage on the floor looking crazy. Almost like she should have been sat in the corner flicking the light on and off.
I did not pay attention to that.
But it was weird watching the match with Ronda and how it ended. Like she passed out smiling. I mean, she passed out with Ronda's ass on her face, but
I mean,
but if that was like if it was a switch, then it was a very sudden switch because there hasn't really been any build up to Liv going crazy.
no, I mean, no, just yeah.
There's been a build to her maybe turning heel, but
yeah, I mean, it would make a little bit more sense if it was like Alexa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it fits better. But I mean, I don't. She didn't she have like a dark period before she got over? Like, didn't I swear to God she had this randomly dark character for a little bit?
Well, when she first came back and interrupted the wedding with Lana and everything, there was these segments about her kind of psycho, I guess, like smashing mirrors and stuff or looking in a mirror. And then there was that whole lesbian angle that they brushed under the rug.
We don't do the lesbian stuff around here. Yeah,
that very much got forgotten pretty quickly.
They're like, do you guys not remember the goddamn fucking Chuck and Billy?
But I mean, she also has a real life relationship with Bo, who's rumored to be coming back too. Obviously, Bray's brother.
Yeah, where the fuck has that guy fucking been?
He's
been gone for like.
When did he get fired?
6 years? No. He's been gone for like at least 3. I'm over here fucking doubling it up.
He got released last year in the budget cuts. But how long since he's been on TV?
I was gonna say, I was like, that you're fucking lying to me because I ain't seen that bastard in a minute. Fuck, he's been gone. He's been off television. I want to say 3 years. No, probably like a little over 2.
Oh, he had a neck injury. So he was released last year, almost exactly a year before that. Curtis Axel was released, and obviously they were a tag team. But his final appearance was November 2019.
Yeah. Guy's been off television for almost 3 fucking years. God damn.
Even though he only got released last year, he was still in 2K20.
I mean, that's fantastic. I'm so glad for you that you made fucking video game royalties.
Wasn't in 2K22. A lot of people that are in AEW are still in 2022.
Whatever, make your royalties. I mean, make your bread however you can. It's just, I don't know. I was a fan of Bo Dallas. I would, I believed and then he just fucking all momentum died. But then again, that was the way of the old man. That was the way of VK. You know, you don't get hot, and what did he give him, 3-4 weeks? You're
Mm.
fucking out of there, bud. I'm like, who the fuck do you expect to get hot in 3-4 weeks?
And the Miztourage was getting over too.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it was working. Uh, why they stopped that? I mean, the fucked up thing is the Miz has like helped make fucking people, and Vince is like, nah, fuck that shit. And it's like, come on, the fucking Miz is helping you like boost fucking guys. I mean, Curtis Axel was fucking relevant for a little bit. You know what I mean? He was fucking relevant. Fucking like I said, Bo Dallas looked like he looked like the Bo Dallas of NXT.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, that wasn't the greatest run either, but it was a hell of a lot better than what he did.
This is true. I mean, he was, what was he, the third NXT champion?
I want to say third because I want to say Big E was the second.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Rollins, Big E, Bo. Or was there somebody in between Bo and Big E? I can't remember. I don't think there was.
No, I want to say it was Bo, then it was Neville, then Sammy.
Yeah.
I want to say that's right.
But yeah, now you mention it, Miz really is a star maker.
I mean, look at all the factions he's been in. Like, let's think about it. Let's see here. Hold on, now I gotta look up fucking Miz's factions. Shit, he had
He's
one
not,
in NXT.
conveniently enough, he is going to be mentioned in This Week in Wrestling History for this very reason.
Of course he is. Of course. I mean, like him and the guy John Morrison. John Morrison came back old, decrepit, and nobody gave a shit. And at least I thought he was funny. At least I thought the shit was funny. Let's see, what other fucking dumbass team did he do? He had, what was the one? The Misfits.
Yeah.
You know, he helped he helped boot. Who else was in there? It was Christian. I want to say Morrison. Who was the big dude? Tyson? Who was the
I was the
big
one that was
fucking
with.
muscle dude that they had?
Oh, shit.
I'm looking shit up right now.
This was like, what, 2014? I'm trying to think who was even there then.
I want to say like fucking goddamn. No, they didn't have a big dude. Tyson Kidd? When the fuck did they have Tyson Kidd? Miz, John Morrison, Christian Cage, or Christian Cage anyway, and Tyson Kidd.
Oh.
I thought they had a big dude, but I must be thinking of just a different thing.
He was running around with Alex Riley for a while, and he's kind of big.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did run around with Alex Riley for a little bit. Brought him up. Didn't he was the guy that brought him up from NXT?
Yeah. And then he went back to NXT.
And he went back. Yeah, goddamn.
Went back to NXT because he ran into John Cena.
Yeah, well, that happens. That's gonna happen. But I mean, like, yeah, he's a star maker. I mean, and then to if we could, and I have because we kind of have to. The guy's got a fucking main event coming up in goddamn Saudi Arabia for fuck's sake. Logan Paul. He helped make Logan Paul.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the guy is fucking helpful, man. He's literally been what's the word I'm looking for? He's been a guiding light for a lot of fucking guys who have way more in-ring experience than he does, and yet he's a guiding light. He knows the ways of sports entertainment. You guys know how to do your fucking craft. I know how to get fucking over, which is crazy.
Now, for an unspecified reason, we've got him under the watchful eye of Dexter Lumis.
Is that an eye you want to be under? I mean,
not really.
I mean, he's creepy as all hell. At least he's athletically creepy.
Yeah, it's been entertaining, but it's also been like, what does he want? I want to know what he wants. Like, he's already kidnapped. He's been in his house. What does he want?
What are you after? What are you after?
He's already kidnapped him. He's been in his house. What's the end game?
He wants to tag with him.
I mean, that's how it worked with the Fury.
I was just gonna say, I was like, somebody got kidnapped and then they started tagging. Was that an NXT thing?
Yeah. Because then, of
Who the
course,
fuck got kidnapped?
well,
No, go
Fury
ahead.
got kidnapped. Did they team up after that? Oh yeah, well he kind of teamed up with The Way because obviously Indy was a member of The
Oh,
Way,
that's
and we had
right.
Index.
Yep. After we had the fucking random luchadors fucking stealing people, it was The Way.
So Johnny and Candice are like all welcoming like Indy's new boyfriend, and Johnny's like, Fury's like, you forgetting you kidnapped me or
Oh yeah, that's right. Didn't you
something?
guys kidnap me? Ah, we don't talk about that. That's fucking. They love to cover shit up all the time.
Yeah, and let's not talk about the cake botch.
No, we don't talk about.
Like Maurice did go into the cake, but not all of it. I don't know if she was meant to miss it the first time, but she kind of
I
stumbled, fell back, and then he kicked her into the table, and she just almost missed the cake.
Yeah, I know. I was more worried about an injury than she was landing into the cake. Like, oh shit, don't smash your head. Yeah, I don't know that. I want to say that was just like she just misstepped or whatever. Because I was like, she's normally down to take a sell.
Yeah, and it's not the first time her and Miz have had a cake smashed.
No, fuck no, shit. How many goddamn cakes have they gone through? I mean, they've been a thing since I want to say like 2012. No, before that. Probably before that. Because they've been married since fuck. They've been
Oh,
married a long time.
yeah. There was that great episode of Ms. and Mrs. where she wanted a cake that was very expensive. He went for the cheaper one.
Oh, that was fucking episode 1, homeboy.
Was it episode one?
That
Jeez.
was episode 1. And
And
again, this is the guy that watched their fucking series because it's fucking hilarious. It's
yeah,
fucking hilarious. Episode 1, yeah, they got to go get this goddamn cake, and they're like, his his dad's the best. His dad, oh, why are we gonna pay for a driver? Like, we could just move the cake. Or, Dad, it's an expensive cake. It's no big deal. Like,
but
it's like the bad advice, Dad. Like, you always listen to the bad advice, Dad, but it doesn't matter. It's bad advice, Dad. Like,
you would think like his dad would sit in the back with the cake, but no, they both
that's
sit in the
yeah,
front. They just dump the cake on the back seat. He slammed on his brakes, and the freaking cake just falls forward.
and he tells him too. Why aren't you sitting in the back? Oh, I
Right.
like it up here.
But the best thing is, he makes it up to her by going back and buying the expensive cake she wanted in the first place.
Oh yeah, because that's every man's dream is to spend like $6,000 on fucking cake.
After already spending whatever on another cake that you broke.
Jesus, the things we do for love.
Yep. Happy wife, happy life.
Hey, that's the fucking truth.
All right, and now for stupid shit people say online. This is shit Mark say.
OMG, Kevin Nash.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Tell me you did not just say that.
WTF, thought he was dead, LOL.
Names have been changed to protect their stupidity. I keep forgetting to do that tagline.
It's fantastic.
So I know people have been ripping Dave Meltzer on TikTok this week over his Bray Wyatt comments.
Yeah, there's been more than a few, and that's been the hot topic on TikTok right now. I guess on last Saturday's review, I was gonna say Sunday because no, the show was on Saturday. Last Saturday's review of Extreme Rules by Wrestling Observer, Dave and Brian were going into it, and Dave was talking about Bray's return and how this was over elaborate and this and that, everything was good. Then he talks about him being husky, him being, he was very heavy. He looks like he's put on a weight, he looks like he's been eating well that was the comment made by Vinny Verhey when they were doing the Brian and Vinny show. He looks like he's been eating well. Look, I'm gonna as a subscriber, I've admitted this many times, as a subscriber to that network, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna defend them, but I'm gonna say, are we really gonna get this upset over fat jokes? I mean, are they in the right to make fat jokes? Yes and no. I'm gonna say no, mainly because Any weight this guy would have put on makes him look big. He was slimmed. He was toned. He looked like a fucking wrestler. He looked like he had a fucking wrestler build. He was stocky, and then he goes on hiatus. How long was he on hiatus? Well over a year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say close to 2 years actually, because his contract was up. Was it last October?
Something like that. I'm not too sure. But the thing that excuse me, the thing I'm driving at is mental health. The guy he took a break for mental health. He went through the thing because, you know, he lost a brother. He couldn't really catch himself. He couldn't really find himself. And, you know, unfortunately, stuff happens when you go through some things. Some people put on weight. Some people lose a lot of weight. Some people get a new addiction. Something happens after you lose somebody special in your life, like him losing a brother. Unfortunately, he packed on some weight. I don't remember nobody complaining about his weight when he was the eater of worlds going up against John Cena. I don't remember nobody complaining about his weight when the Wyatt family was over like nobody's fucking business in NXT. So stop with the thing, like, because again, nobody said nothing about Dusty Rhodes neither. If we're going to keep going back and forth and talk about Kevin Owens, talk about fat people, like nobody's talking about their weight. Stop talking about his weight. And on top of that, so that's for the wrestling observers, motherfuckers, right there. That's them. Those are my peoples. But you're gonna get checked when you're fucking up. Now, for the TikTok social media side, just because somebody calls them fat doesn't mean we need to go ballistic. Did everybody go ham when Nia Jax got called fat? No.
Nope.
Did everybody go fucking bananas when Kevin Owens was getting called fat by fucking
Cornette?
By Cornette? No. You know, like, stop picking and choosing your battles. Okay, I understand. Yeah, actually, what was the one? There was a comment made. I don't want to fucking go scrolling around because I'm gonna end up diving deep into some shit. There was a comment made on my man Self Bet Wrestling's video. By the way, if you're following us on TikTok, go follow Self Bet Wrestling. He's the man. Helps us out as well. But he made a comment that said, "Oh well, if Bray Wyatt showed up in AEW, he wouldn't make that comment. You know, did he make a comment when Kenny was out of shape?" And my answer was, yes, he did. Yes, Dave Meltzer did. Dave Meltzer said, "Well, geez, Kenny looks like he's not in the greatest of shape. You know, he's wearing a compression vest. He's wearing the thing. He's obviously not 100%, so he can't be in the best of shape." So we understand where this guy's dynamic is. We know he's going to comment on weight because he's fucking 50 fucking plus years old and jacked, because all he does is type and work out. And then we're just going to fucking just go ballistic over the return of Bray Wyatt, over the return of Wyndham Rotunda to professional wrestling, whether it be AEW, Impact, WWE, whatever. Let's be happy he's back. Stop worrying about some stupid negative bullshit, and let's start getting our brain fantasy booking we love to do. What's going to happen? That's my only question right now after this. What's next? I keep saying that shit. What's next?
Yeah, he seems to be merging his gimmicks too.
Yeah.
And like merging old gimmicks with a new one is great.
It's fantastic because he's evolving.
He always does.
How many people in fucking pro wrestling, I was just going to say in WWE, in pro wrestling, take a character and evolve it? There's not that many.
No, I think this is why he always got so many comparisons to The Undertaker, because even though Taker played pretty much the same gimmick for all this time, he always managed to change it a little bit.
Yep, subtle tweaks. He used to be the actual Undertaker, where he would build caskets and dig graves, and the Paul Bear would do these fucking vignettes. This was early 90s. Then he became just the silent killer, and he went from the the all black attire with the fucking purple wristbands and shit to He had like he went all super goth in the middle of the
Yeah.
fucking 90s. You know what I mean?
Ministry Taker was badass.
He really was, though. I fucking to Ministry Taker to he went to fucking Biker Taker. People still want Biker Taker back. Like, I still want Biker Taker back. Like, and then he went back to the Dead Man. It's who can do that? I know of another dude, Sting. He's the only other cat who's able to have the same gimmick. He was just able to go dark, but yet still be a face.
Plus Joker Sting.
It doesn't work for everybody.
And then you got Cena, who the only change he ever made to his gimmick was the color of his t-shirt.
You know what? But that's okay because he evolves with the brighter the color. Okay, because I mean, no, to be super honest, I mean, was his last shirt not white because he couldn't get no brighter?
I think it was green, actually.
I don't get the.
Which would have made sense because he came back at Money in the Bank. Money's green. Cena's green.
Better be a highlighter green, I swear to God.
All right, on to the other social media side of Shit Mark Say. This one's actually from our social media. This one was on the Max Wrestling group. This is Hey Dougie. Anybody with kids will get that reference. Or in the UK, anyway. I don't know if it shows over there.
What show is it?
Hey Dougie.
Oh no, I'm about to say we got the Bluey obsession over here. So
Well,
I think was that Australia?
Yeah, Hey Bluey's Australia. Hey Dougie is English, and it's also about a dog. And it ends every single episode with, "Well, that was fun, wasn't it, Dougie?" And it's just a giant dog.
That's fantastic.
So I made a point of how great Bray's return was, and pretty much showing respect to Triple H for putting it together, and pretty much saying, if anybody knows how to make a great return and a great entrance, it's Triple H.
Fucking A.
Dougie uses the laugh reaction, and I'm just like, what's so funny? I'm literally just, saying it was a great return.
Do that. Like,
right?
If it's so goddamn funny, tell me what's so fucking funny.
Fucking Dirt Sheet Radio. Every time they post it, somebody signed with AEW. Yeah, like,
right?
There's a bunch of people just laughing. I'm like, what the fuck's funny about signing with a company?
They went there.
And
okay.
Dougie explains nobody will be talking about Bray Wyatt's return 1 month from now, let alone years to come. I beg to differ. His original build-up with the Wyatt family is more memorable. I mean, their debut on Raw was great, and it was very memorable. But people don't really talk about it that much.
No, I don't remember talking about the Bray Wyatt, or sorry, the Wyatt family debut.
I
Truth be told, I remember fucking Cash and Enzo's a little bit more. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I'm sorry.
I remember it because I wasn't really watching NXT. I don't think I was watching NXT at all when they debuted on Raw. So I had no idea who they were, and I was just immediately exposed to them and immediately thought they were amazing. And I remember his promo almost word for word that night. But other than that,
it was a great promo.
Yeah, other than that, people don't really talk about it. It was a memorable debut, but that's it. So I said half the crowd didn't even know who he was when he debuted. One of them. Because NXT wasn't nearly as recognized as it is now. The whole arena blew up for him at Extreme Rules and popped each time another element to that set piece was added, which we just said. Dougie says that's because they piped in reaction.
Okay.
Why?
I'm sure a little bit. Go ahead.
Wyatt is just flavor of the month, like Damage Control was 2 months ago.
Like Damage Control was 2 months ago. And I'm gonna say this. I don't defend. It's been a while since I've gone on the defense of the E. So this is new to me, and I apologize if this sounds weird to our regular listeners. Papa H has been doing a fucking excellent job. Let me repeat myself. A fucking excellent job in bringing back talent that should not have been released from this company, let alone any goddamn company. I had the fucking list in front of me. The amount of people he brought back, the Good Brothers. He brought back Bray Wyatt after a 2-year mental hiatus where the guy was teasing signing with the rival company AEW. He brought back Io Shirai. He brought back Dakota Kai. Who else has he brought back? He brought back fucking Brock is
Johnny.
still hanging around.
Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Gargano. Isn't his wife on the main now?
Yep, Candice is back too.
Candice LeRae. I remember I have vivid conversations of Candice LeRae would never be on the main roster. Candice LeRae would never be on the main roster. No matter what you do, Candice LeRae will never be on the main roster. Check it out, Jack. She's on the main roster. Johnny Gargano, another cat. Tommaso Ciampa. This company's slowly evolving, and it's because of Papa H. Yeah, VK used to bring up NXT people and, do this and that, and yeah, it would get a pop. It would get a pop, sure, because, again, there are some people that are diehards. They're watching Wednesdays. They don't care. But as Daz just said, some people weren't watching Wednesdays. So when they showed up, you're kind of, who the fuck are you? In this instance, it's all been different. All of it's been different. It's people we know, people that they've tried with, failed. So now here's a real attempt.
Yeah.
A real attempt. So to fucking bring up something that was as and I hate to diminish it like that. I do. But to bring up something as minuscule as the Wyatt family debut compared to this gigantic return is dumb as shit. And the piping in comment, if they did, who gives a shit? I saw everybody on their feet. Okay? If it wasn't as loud as it was supposed to be, it was visually loud.
Yeah. I think that was my reply. Piped in my ass. There wasn't a single person in that crowd that didn't have their phone lit up and on their feet.
Exactly.
And, Philly is a loud, hardcore wrestling city. They don't need anything piped in.
And on top of that, let's be real. Look at what you just said. Philly is a hardcore wrestling town. You think they're just gonna stand up for some bullshit? You really think you're gonna get these cats on their feet for some average ass shit?
We know how they react to bullshit. We remember the Royal Rumble from 2015.
Thank you so much. If they don't want it, if they don't like it, they're not gonna say nothing. But when you're fucking on your goddamn feet screaming on the top of your lungs because somebody's back, moves are made in the right way. So to think that this isn't going to be remembered in a month is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, because guess what? Now you got another major player coming back. Remember that whole fucking stereotype AEW has? Oh, their roster is so bloated.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going down with the E? They're getting to the point where that motherfucking roster is bloated again. But it's a good thing. Let them be bloated. Let multiple main event stars shine on both of these companies. Good for Bray. I hope he gets fucking immediately thrown in a title picture. I fucking really do.
And as far as Damage Control goes, yeah, okay, the booking's been questionable. They've lost matches they should have won. But are they not now 2 out of 3 of them tag team champions? And Bayley's back in the title picture. She's wrestling again.
I was just going to say, aren't they women tag team champs?
They're still pretty relevant to the women's division. They're there every single week on Raw, front and center.
So because they're not relevant to you, partner, does not mean they're not relevant to the rest of the 2 million people watching.
Yeah, Raw's creeping up to 2 million again.
And again, for the fucking TikTokers who are fucking swapping on, yeah, that the AEW guys talking that. Yes, sir. Because it's factuals. It's the facts. And I talk with facts. And if it's right, it's right. Whether my opinion of some shit or not. Everything has been good since Papa H took over. They've got me to the point where I'm trying to watch SmackDown tomorrow. I watch highlights of Raw, mainly because Monday I have to do a lot of homework. But that's about it.
And it's 3 hours long.
It's 3 hours long. you know what? I kind of wouldn't give a shit. I get too distracted. I can't watch it and do homework, even though I got 2 giant screens. I probably could, but
Next up, we have Twilight, but not too bright.
oh god,
TK is pushing Sammy to the moon, and Triple H is pushing Cross to the moon. Can we all agree that the only good booker in America right now is Scott D'Amore?
I beg your what?
First of all, I don't see what's wrong with pushing Karrion Cross, but I mean, Sammy's a little controversial, but I don't like to shit on Impact because they've dealt with so much shit over the years and they're still kicking. But
I mean,
Scott D'Amore, best booker, like really Bound for Glory, your biggest pay-per-view of the year, was on a Friday with no promotion. Nobody knew it was freaking on, apart from diehard Impact fans.
mm-hmm.
You had Bully Ray come back to win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I mean, what the I think Scott's been purchasing some things from TK when he was booking this show.
I mean, okay, I will. I don't want to completely shit on this dude because Scott D'Amore's been. He's oh god, I hate saying it like this. He's been a good booker. Okay,
Yeah.
he's been a good booker. Better than Papa H? No. Better than TK? Hell no. And I'm not saying it like that out of bias because the reality is right now I could probably lean a little bit more towards Papa H being better than TK just because of the shit that's going on with the TK.
Yeah.
And then you bring up the Sammy thing, which, by the way, that was my first video back. It was like, hey, you know, should we be mad at Sammy? And I immediately got hit with it wasn't a fight. So, and they're not suing each other, so it doesn't matter. Okay, well, here's my gimmick. With the Bucks and Kenny and Punk and all that, there was an issue that started and it blew up, and now these motherfuckers are suspended. With Sammy, there was an issue, it blew up, and now fucking somebody's possibly fired or somebody's leaving the company. But again, because it wasn't a real fight, we can't get mad. But you can have a Twitter beef, you can talk all the shit you want, and you can still get your main events. You can still get put on I mean, I understand where we need to be, you know, like, oh, well, this is not as cut and dry, but it is. You know what I mean? But it is. It's fucking TikTok people.
I've seen people calling Sammy pussy and stuff because he didn't fight back. Like, what did you want him to do? Like, throw some punches back and he gets suspended too?
But thank you. That's what I was literally just gonna say. I was like, so you're mad at it? So I'm mad at him because, well, first off, he's running his mouth. Well, he is running his mouth. Let me stop myself. As much as he was probably defending AEW when it got to the backstage part, on Twitter, you're running your mouth. Okay? And somebody's checked you. And now it's a fucking problem. But again, all this is happening because you're running your mouth. You know what I mean? So you're the guy starting the conflict. People squash. It's become a it's become a problem. But I don't know. It's just I'm off on a rant with this whole bit. But
yeah, so
you know, TK he's not a bad booker because of that. You know, has he not made the greatest business management decisions? Fuck yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of cats that'll agree with that statement. But a bad booker, no. I mean, hell, last night, look at fucking last night, for crying out loud. Orange Cassidy finally wins a belt. You know, it was a great thing there. I was about to really say there was a really good story between Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. It's not. I'm going to shit on it later. But a decent story between. They're building a bigger story with Danny Garcia and Jericho. You know, as much as I thought fucking Redry should have won last night, it makes perfect sense. What they're doing, they're dragging this whole thing out. I mean, the next fucking Ring of Honor pay-per-view, for all we know, there's another turn and DG goes face. It's setting up for many things, but again, to emphasize Scott D'Amore on the level of these cats, no.
What else happened about Floyd? What else happened about? So Bully Ray won the gauntlet.
God.
Josh Alexander retained against Eddie Edwards. I mean, that was a good booking. Jordan Grace is still the Knockouts champion. The Kingdom retained the tag team titles against the Motor City Machine Guns. The Death Doll, this is how to touch I am with Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Havoc and Taya Valkyrie are the new Knockouts tag team champions. They defeated Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. Mickie James defeated Mia Yim. Obviously, Mickie James doing the whole Ric Flair thing where the next match she loses, she's done.
Sure.
All right. And Kazarian defeated Mike Bailey for the X Division title. So, I mean, most of it was okay, or sounds okay, but the only thing I saw, and this was obviously the longest match of the night, was Bully Ray winning the Call Your Shot gauntlet.
That sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does.
I'm sorry. It does. I can even give you Frankie Kazarian as the X Division champ. I'll give you a fucking thumbs up on that one. Like, okay, I'll fuck with you on that. But what the fuck is Bill? Why is Bully Ray back? Why? With all the fucking talent out there, the mounds of talent, and I know that there's some out there that like we might not have heard of, but with their connects with fucking AAA and all these other companies, you couldn't get anybody the fuck else. And I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I'm just this is a very WCW move. Bring back a super old head.
And I mean, honestly, there wasn't really that many young guys in the match. Like Eric Young, PCO.
I'm not necessarily tripping about the young guy factor. I'm just, if you're gonna bring somebody who's not Impact or who's former Impact back to Impact, there's got to be somebody better than Bully Ray.
I mean, for a match like this, where you win a trophy, it's pretty much Money in the Bank. You can cash it in for a title shot anytime within a year, and you fill it with guys like Rhino, Tommy Dreamer, and then Bully Ray. And Bully Ray fucking wins it. Bobby Fish was in it too.
Bobby Fish just debuted over there, so it's I guess. But goddamn.
Half the match, people were in their 40s. But then you also had young guys like, Johnny Swinger. I was going to say Johnny Swinger. Like Steve Macklin, who was the last one eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, youngish.
Youngish.
But it was also intergender, so you also had like Killer Kelly in there. You had Savannah Evans, Tasha Steeles, Taylor Wilde was in there, Giselle Shaw was in there.
So they were the young people. It was
Yeah,
the ladies that were
the ladies were the young ones. But
get out there with all the old heads. Maybe they'll teach you something.
Yeah, you can probably make a case for Scott D'Amore being a great booker, but not with that show.
No, and not in the echelon of them other two guys.
Yeah. But this is why they are marks, and that's the shit they say.
God damn.
Now, let's go back in time a little bit. There's a few pieces. There's not too much to talk about this week in wrestling history. Up first, on October 7th, 2007, in one of the most bizarre WWE title situations we've ever seen, No Mercy opened with William Regal and Mr. McMahon awarding the WWE Championship to Randy Orton due to John Cena's pectoral injury. They were supposed to face each other for the title that night. Triple H immediately comes out, challenges Orton for the title, and beats him for the title in the opening match. Triple H then, since he already had a match booked with Umaga, was made for the title. Triple H retained the title against Umaga later in the night, and in the main event, Orton won the world title back from Triple H in a last man standing match.
Umanga.
Umanga. I never knew why William Regal pronounced it like that.
I have no idea. Umanga or Umanga, and like, what the fuck? I swear it would change.
October 8th, 2001, a big night for Raw, as the Hardy Boys defeated Booker T and Test for the WCW tag team titles. Edge defended the WCW US title against Rhino. Rob Van Dam and Shane McMahon defeated Jericho and The Rock. Let's face it, they never got along. And Stone Cold Steve Austin won his 6th and final WWE Championship, defeating Kurt Angle in the main event. This was a Raw, not a pay-per-view. It sounds like a
I was
pay-per-view.
just gonna say, are you sure that wasn't a pay-per-view?
I always thought it was like the night after a pay-per-view, but no, this was like a couple of weeks after Unforgiven.
Oh fuck, goddamn, man.
October 9th, 2005, the late great Eddie Guerrero wrestled his final pay-per-view match as he challenged Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Rumor has it Eddie was scheduled to win the title at the following Survivor Series, but obviously tragically passed away a few weeks after this event.
Damn.
That whole heel tease with Batista was beautiful.
It was. That it was.
At another No Mercy on October 9th, 2016, like we talked about earlier, Dolph Ziggler won the Intercontinental Championship in by far one of his best feuds and matches of his career, as he defeated The Miz in a career versus title match.
Shit, the fucking Ziggler, man. See, there we go. Miz chalking people up.
Yeah, build-up was amazing. Match was amazing. It made not only Dolph feel important again, but it made the IC title feel huge.
Huge.
I don't remember why, but also the main event saw Bray Wyatt defeat Randy Orton. Just a singles match.
That's why.
2 pieces of Impact history up next. See, we don't just shit on Impact.
Okay.
10-10-10 at Bound for Glory. Immortal was born as Jeff Hardy turned heel for the first proper heel run of his career, not counting the New Brood, and won the TNA World title with an assist from Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Fucking what an assist.
The beginning of the Antichrist persona.
What a fucking assist. God damn.
It was short-lived, obviously, because he was still having some substance issues, but it was a great gimmick. I loved the Antichrist gimmick.
I still got to watch some Impact, man. I'm telling you.
And finally, October 12th, 2008, at Bound for Glory 4, Sting won the TNA World title for the 2nd time, and also at the 2nd consecutive Bound for Glory, as he defeated Samoa Joe. I believe he defeated Kurt Angle the year before.
Nice.
And that's your history this week. There's probably going to be some more Bound for Glory coming up throughout the month.
Let's go. Bound for Glory.
Actually, I can tell you there will be more coming up next week, because I think it was tomorrow in 2007 when Sting won the title for the first time.
Beautiful.
Now, I think it's my turn to come up with somebody. It's time to guess the wrestler.
I wonder who this could possibly be.
Guess the wrestler.
He's the bestler, better than all the wrestler.
All right, let's go for titles. First of all, World Wrestling Association, WWA World Heavyweight Champion. 1 time. Got more titles from a lot of titles from NWA. NWA American Heavyweight Champion 4 times. American Tag Team Champion 3 times, all with Kerry Von Erich. Texas Heavyweight Champion. Texas Tag Team Champion 3 times with Mike York, Gino Hernandez, and Kerry Von Erich. NWA Central States Heavyweight Champion 1 time.
Who the fuck was huge in Texas like that?
In All Japan, 3-time NWA International Heavyweight Champion.
All Japan. Vader?
No, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2019. He was a legacy inductee, which pretty much means he was part of a group that get inducted, but they don't really get a ceremony.
Oh shit. Okay. But he teamed a lot with Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah. Here's a good one from Wrestling Observer. He won Best Brawler. 1981, 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84, 87, and 88.
Harley Race?
No.
No, not Harley Race. Who the fuck beat out Harley Race for best brawler
For like 6 years.
for 6 years? Who beat out him for?
Most of his titles were NWA. He was also NWA Tri-State US Tag Team Champion twice with Stan Hansen.
Fucking oh god, he teamed with Stan all the time. Oh, son of a bitch. This guy was fucking huge. Who the fuck teamed with Kerry Von Erich like that? Wasn't Warrior. No, come on, give me a brawler. Give me a brawler. Give me a brawler. Who was mean and nasty back then? Barry Windham?
No. Feuded quite a lot with Abdullah the Butcher.
Bruiser Brody?
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, Bruiser Brody and Kerry Von Erich like that. Oh my goodness.
See, I'm not surprised teaming with Stan Hansen, but yeah, Gary Von Erich.
See, that's I was like, it's a big ass dude that used to sting the team with Stan Hansen, but for some reason, I was actually going to say Abdullah the Butcher. I was like, but that's not true. That wasn't true. But it was a big ass. Oh wow. Okay. Damn, he won a lot of belts.
Yeah.
Shit.
Again, mostly in the NWA.
But fucking 6 years best brawler. All right, Dave, I see you.
There's not many pictures of him with Kerry Von Erich. There's
Well,
like one or two, and they look mismatched.
I'm sure most of their shows were in the middle of fucking Texas.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All right. Well, coming up in 6 weeks' time, Max Wrestling proudly presents the 7th annual promo series, Rise and Storm, the event where shit hits the fan. We will find out if Travis Anderson can survive once again as Group MVP, and we also predict Survivor Series. If you want a shot at becoming Group MVP, in 2 weeks is the time to start posting in the group. You got 28 days to stake your claim on the Group MVP title.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you will do in 2 weeks. The Max Wrestling Knowledge Championship is on the line in the traditional winner stays on gauntlet. The Phoenix defends his title against 3 potential challengers, beginning with Beer and ending with Moi. Challenger number 2, well, stay tuned in the coming weeks for the reveal.
Beautiful stuff.
And more gold on the line as Cypher challenges Moses Marquez for the television championship in the first ever TV triathlon. Can Cypher bring one home for the jury? He's a former predictions champion, but hasn't won any titles in knowledge or trivia yet.
See, look at here. I normally go ham on him each and every week, but this week I'm actually going to say that I am looking forward to this because, one, he can go in the promo realm, and in all reality, he has held his own in the knowledge. So not only am I looking forward to this because this is a rivalry that I know is going to go the distance, but I'm also ready for the freaking competition, the true competition. So I'm ready, and that's the problem. So that's the real problem. I know I said I was going to be positive, but now I'm going to be a little extra. I'm confident. Are you, Cypher?
Well, he should be. I mean, if I remember rightly, he came very close at Promo Mania to winning that knowledge title.
Very close.
And the year before that, he came close to winning the Iron Bank.
Shocking Travis each and every time.
In a promo exhibition, Mr. Iron Bank, the current Mr. Iron Bank, Daniel Crimmins, looks to silence the podcast machine as he goes one-on-one with Mike Larkin with a 2-minute time difference.
That's okay. Let's see what he's got. The fucking podcast machine's been gone for a minute. Does he still have the fire, or is DC going to run the game?
DC's hungry. And finally, in a triple threat cinematic match, yours truly defends the World Championship against Travis the Walker Anderson and Chad Malcolm, because a smart man always brings a lawyer with him.
A smart man always brings a lawyer with him. Facts could not be spoken by a better man. But at the same time, if you look at it on the other side of the spectrum, only guilty men bring their attorneys with them.
True. I guess. Although he did get me out of that trial with the Phoenix.
Hey, sometimes that's why you pay him the big bucks. That's why you pay him the big bucks.
And speaking of the world title, in 5 days, I will hit 200 days as your world champion. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
For more information, go to maxwrestling.net/promo series 7.
This is Velvet Sky.
Hey, this is the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Hey, yo, what up? It's Darby Allin. It's the Ultimate Vanessa, your girl's favorite wrestler.
Hey, Preston Vance here, aka number 10 of the Dark Order.
Hey, this is Tommy Dreamer.
Hey, everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atute here.
This is the voice of Killer Cross.
And you're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
And you are currently listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
Max Wrestling Podcast. And we're about to take it to the max.
We're about to take it to the max.
It's time to take it to the max.
We're going to take it to the max.
Take it to the max.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madhouse.
Welcome back to the Kappa Mo Show. We're here every single Thursday. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, wherever it is you may be joining us. Still to come, this week's Geek of the Week, the Best of the Week, all the other wrestling news that's been going on, and AEW's Canadian debut. But first, we talked about Extreme Rules a little bit. We've talked a little bit about Bray Wyatt on Raw, but there was more happenings on Raw as DX celebrated their 25th anniversary. The opening segment was great. Classic DX. The closing segments, I could have done without. Nothing happened in the closing segments.
I'm 1,000,000% with you. I was like, all right, cool. I seen him in the ring. Once they got in the ring and they were literally just kind of I was like, well, I think I'm done. Turn it off. But when I noticed that they were on and they were doing the whole backstage, because I always have Raw and SmackDown recorded. But the second I saw him back there, I said, I got to watch. And, Hunter's out there telling him, you guys can't be, you guys can't, and who put all these cocks here and this and that. Just the stupid hilarity that was I wouldn't even say the 90s, just what was the dumb era of DX? What was that, in 03, 04?
When it was just Triple H and Shawn, 06,
Yeah.
But I liked it because it was very touchy, PG-13 humor.
Exactly, because it was all fucking toilet humor. That's the term I'm looking for, and it's hilarious, fucking hilarious.
They were pushing the boundaries of their TV 14 rating in 06.
They did pretty good on this one. Not as close as that one, but they did pretty good.
Yeah, and it was funny because Triple H is an authority figure now, and not just an authority figure. He's the guy running the show.
Exactly. That's what makes the whole thing that much funnier.
And he's delinquent
you guys got
best
the boss
friends
over here talk about cocks.
But when we got to the closing segment, it was almost like Shawn couldn't be bothered anymore, because he even made the point, if we're still here in another 25 years, just put us out of our misery.
I'm sure he's fucking feels that way. He's like, Jesus Christ, you guys got me doing. I'm scouting. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. He's probably got 5 jobs all of a sudden.
Yeah. But, I mean, they could have done something. They could have, obviously Triple H doesn't really want to get physical anymore, but they could have had, Road Dogg doing his whole shake, rattle, and roll on somebody, Shawn hitting the switch in music. I'm sure X-Pac can still hit an X Factor.
The guy had a fucking match not 2 months ago in GCW. You could hit something. Goddamn motherfucker.
Well, there you go. It was just, the closing segment felt like a little bit of a waste of time because they literally just came out and did their catchphrases.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You wanted, you thought you could end with the, with the hot, act, but I was just lukewarm as can be, man.
At the same time, if they had done something like that where they're beating somebody up, you would have had people complaining that they're burying somebody young.
True.
So it was kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, there you go, catch-22.
It was either make somebody look stupid or just waste a little bit of time with some catchphrases.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much else they could do. They're getting old now. Road Dogg's looking hella old.
crazy old. That's what happens when you're fucking writing for this goddamn company for so long. It just puts the years on you.
That's what happens when you're killing SmackDown.
Hey, you're telling me, bud.
Well, back in the day. I mean, SmackDown's good now.
Well, yeah, he's got fucking Trips saying like, hey, no, erase that right now.
I mean, Road Dogg and Shawn also kind of got involved in other business too, like the Miz and Dexter Lumis business, pretty much setting up the match for next week. Where if Miz wins, Lumis is gone. If Lumis wins, he gets a contract with Raw. And what was the other stipulation? Nah, can't remember. But yeah, I don't know where they got the authority from. I mean, they probably should have got the okay from Triple H, but
right,
like you got authority in NXT. This is Raw.
Like, yeah, well, you guys are overstepping your bounds a little bit, going for the developmental of the main roster. But I also think at the same time, we know that they're all friends of Trips, and I really do think that they just kind of expect us to think that now these guys are authority figures throughout the company.
That's the thing. Yeah, people keep saying like DX have gone from anti-authority to now DX are running WWE.
They go from anti-authority to they are the authority.
I'm sure they should spray the logo on the headquarters again.
Right. Just yep, we've officially taken over again.
We also saw a return on Raw. Brock Lesnar's return was pretty much, again, spoiled in advance, like it always is, to confront Lashley and effectively cost him the US title because he hit him with, I don't know, 3 F5s, and then still decided to defend the title against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the new US champion and is also the second Grand Slam champion in WWE after The Miz.
Hey, good for him.
However, even though they're Grand Slam champions, Miz has never won the Universal title, and Rollins has never won the SmackDown tag team titles. So if either one of them win either one of those titles, then they're the only person to win literally every single available active title.
The official Grand Slam.
And we're not counting 24/7 title, Chad. Fuck that title.
No.
That title can get in the bin.
Right in the bin. In the bin.
I also saw people making fun of this, like, actually, I think it was somebody in the WWE. Like, the crowd were all over Lashley. They loved him. They were supporting him. And then Brock comes out, drops him with a couple of F5s, and they're like, one more.
It's like, fucking Brock returning.
You were supporting this guy 5 minutes ago. Now you want Brock to drop him again?
Brock coming back. Of course I want him to kill the fucking cat. I don't give a shit who it is. Brock's back. And it's still Farmer Brock, so I'm down.
Still Farmer Brock. Still, apparently, he's going to show up next week, too, so he's not just part-time Brock.
Thank God.
No, this is fun Brock.
Yeah, this is the best Brock. The Brock we want, the Brock we love.
The only downside is we're probably going to get Brock and Lashley, too, in Saudi, and Saudi's not our favorite show.
No, it's not, but I'll watch it for the match, I guess.
I literally have only ever... I think I've only ever watched one Saudi show, the first one.
I've seen more than one, but I mean, like, but then again, let me rephrase that. I've seen a couple. I've listened to most of them because I'm at work, so I'm just like, all right, let me put my phone on the thing, and there you go. And that's the extent of most of my fucking Saudi watching.
Yeah. And 2 more returns as Judgment Day continue to torment Rey Mysterio. Dom hits him with a 619. Then we move on from, like, Judgment Day are feuding with, like, multiple people. So we move from that one to AJ Styles teasing joining the group, but reintroduces Gallows and Anderson, who surprisingly got a decent pop.
Yeah, actually a pretty big one if you ask me. I mean, I didn't think they would get a pop, period. But then again, here they are. Good for them. The contract situation is a tad weird considering the fact that fucking Carl Anderson still has a never open weight championship to defend.
Yeah, he's still working for Japan.
Weird, but hey, again, with Trips running things, who knows what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Maybe guys will work indies and still the E. Maybe guys can work Japan. Maybe they can work Mexico. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I mean, that's how we ran NXT. A lot of guys were still working indie shows in the early days of NXT TV.
That's true. I mean, it's possible. You can do whatever you need.
This gives us a couple of options now for War Games at Survivor Series. So, like, it's either like the Bloodline against somebody, or now you've got the possibility of Judgment Day against AJ and his group.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea jumped in and they just need one more member for AJ's team then.
I mean, if you need a lady, I mean, you could find somebody. I mean,
wait, is War Games 4-on-4 or 5-on-5?
4-on-4.
Oh, okay, so you can't do Edge and Ray.
Well, I mean, I want to say, no, was there 5? No, it's 4-on-4. Because I was like, well, what about, because I'm trying to think of the last time they did it in NXT, and I remember the Undisputed Era, all 4 of them, and I'm like, yep, 4-on-4.
Well, we also have to remember, not every match has to be War Games. There's probably going to be 2 War Games matches, one for the guys, one for the girls. And you can still have traditional Survivor Series elimination matches for the Bloodline and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can split it out. There's ways of them making this work, especially in the realm of Survivor Series and multi-man tag matches.
Yeah, and speaking of the Bloodline, they showed up on Raw. Roman didn't work Saturday, but he worked Monday.
Shocker, I know, right? Like, geez, I guess drag your ass in on Monday. You can't work the fucking weekend, you piece of shit.
And it was a cool segment, and Roman allows Sammy to handle Jay. So, Sammy is pretty much Jay's carer, for want of a better word, caretaker. Sure, Sammy's in charge of Jay now.
Okay, just make sure you don't drive anywhere.
Oh. But, oh man, Sammy's so good. And
he is.
I don't know how Jay and Solo both keep a straight face, because like Jimmy can laugh as much as he wants because him and Sammy are like that.
Yeah, they're fucking close, so of course he's gonna laugh. The other guy, yeah, no, I'm with you. The other guys, I don't understand how they keep a straight face. They probably they're just like, don't break.
And then you got Roman in the corner with Paul Heyman. They're just like talking to each other like, don't break, damn.
Yeah, they're probably telling each other, good. He's not that funny. It's like, but no, he's fucking hilarious. Heyman's like, no, he's pretty goddamn funny.
And Riddle also came out to challenge Roman. Roman's just like, nah.
Oh yeah, fucking asshole.
But we did get Sammy taking on Riddle instead, and Sammy explicitly tells Jay not to interfere, and then loses.
Yep. Jeez, I wonder how that was supposed to work.
Much to Jay's amusement. I'm sure he's more than happy that Sammy lost.
Oh, of course he is. He it's like when your older brother has a best friend that never goes home.
Yeah.
Your other brother gets sick of him real fast.
I mean, there's so many ways now that they can do the whole separation. Like, obviously, we know this isn't going to last forever. Sammy and the Bloodline are going to split at some point.
Yeah.
And, who's going to turn on who? I really like my fantasy booking of it somehow coming down to Sammy versus Roman for the titles. And Fury cashes in, pins Sammy, takes one of the titles. And then obviously Sammy gets the shit beat out of him.
Personally, I like that one a lot. I think it's good. I think it's a great move because Sammy literally looks like he's the only guy to get so damn close to Roman. He knows some secrets or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or Sammy wins the Rumble.
There you go. That would be hilarious. Imagine that build.
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but I kind of realized that obviously the whole rumor going around about Rock racing Roman at Mania for the titles, the only way that could happen would be Rock winning the Rumble because obviously Roman has both titles. So, and And I'm sure that would piss a lot of people off if Rock just came back and won the Rumble.
It would, but then again, it would also make sense, and it would build towards the story that they've been trying to go to for, what, fucking 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, whereas if they split the titles before the Rumble, then somebody else can win the Rumble, challenge for the other title, and Rock can just challenge Roman. They really backed themselves into a corner by unifying the titles.
They did, and they know that they were going to do, or I should have said they should have known that this was going to happen. But now, I don't know, Papa H got to put that thinking cap on. Oh, Brock's cowboy hat. Maybe that'll work.
Just don't give us Brock and Roman again to split the titles, please. Like,
Yeah,
Mania was the last ever. No, SummerSlam was the last ever. That's done.
SummerSlam. No more, please. You can have Brock versus anybody the fuck else. Listen to me. Anybody the fuck else.
And even though SummerSlam was a great match and everybody loved it, we've seen it too many times, Brock and Roman.
Well, we haven't seen that one, the SummerSlam one, until we got it, and then it was great. But now we know you can't top this.
No.
There's no topping it.
You can't top flipping the ring with a freaking tractor.
You can't top the fucking idea of who the hell is going to get this tractor out of here. Like, you're just not going to top it. It was a great thing. It was a great match. It was extremely sports entertaining while also being wrestling great. You can't top it. And if you attempt it, you're going to tarnish whatever happened prior. Don't do it.
The alternative would be literally unifying those two titles into one title and bringing back like the world title for Raw.
That would be nice.
Everybody wants that big gold belt back.
I'm sick. Well, because personally, I'm just sick and tired of looking at the same looking belt. Just one's got a blue strap. Like, that's just me. That's just me. You know, if you wanted to unify it and just make, you don't have to bring back a second title for the second brand, but I understand that Fox is like, I need a belt. I get it. But, to me, it's time to unify your Universal in the world, bring back, a world heavyweight or whatever the fuck you need to bring back something to unify your one belt. And then if you need a secondary world championship, then fine. I get it. But these two with the big fat fucking W's need to be one. Okay? And then give me a wrestling belt as your other belt. Okay? That way, maybe I get to fucking feel that I'm watching a wrestling company and not so much a sports entertainment company. At least NXT's belt looks fucking decently fucking pro wrestling. Shockingly. I mean, it's still got a giant X in it, but still.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's all gold.
There you go.
So yeah, that was pretty much it from the E. On Dynamite, like we said, they made their debut in Canada, and obviously another Canada debut was Renee Paquette, finally signing with AEW and kicking off the show with a very quick interview with Christian Cage.
Yeah, good for her. Glad she signed. Was expecting that to happen sooner rather than later, and guess what? Sooner happened. So good for her. She is a more than welcomed, announcer.
Yeah.
Ringside, whatever the fuck you want to call her. She will be more than welcomed here, which is awesome. She already did great in night one. Christian Cage is he's a McDoucher, so. But he is a Canadian, so I understand why she has to interview the Canadian, because, he's Canadian, she's Canadian. Canadian.
And he still manages to get heat in Canada.
I mean, with the gimmick he's running right now, I don't see him not getting heat anywhere. Like, he's going to get heat everywhere. And I know I'm talking about, like, him getting the heat and this and that, but to fast forward to this fucking match, are we really going to telegraph this goddamn story between you and Christian Cage for 7 fucking months? He has a serious fucking shoulder injury. Yeah. He's going to be out until next goddamn year. He won't be back until maybe April next year. Maybe. You're going to push this shit that fucking long? How? How are you going to do that without making it beyond fucking boring? Like, This needs to be the end. Somehow, some way, it needs to be the end. Make Jungle Boy go away for a couple of weeks, whatever. This is the end. Because if you build onto it more, I am not going to want to see it, and I'm sure I won't be the only one.
To be honest, I mean, this match should have ended the feud because it was a hell of a match. Even though Luchasaurus won, but it just felt like that's it now. Let's move on.
Yeah, there's nothing more to this. But I understand they want Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy, and I get it. And in due time, you'll get it.
Yeah, just let Jungle Boy move on from Luchasaurus, and then when Christian's healed, he can come back after Jungle Boy.
Exactly. I think Dave and Brian Alvarez were talking about this. I know I had talked shit about him earlier. Now I'm going to give him some praise. They had said a good way to do this is say Jungle Boy's going for the TNT Championship, and he's getting ready to win, and here comes a healthy Christian Cage and fucks him over.
Yeah.
Okay, goddamn you, motherfucker! Now it's time for a feud with him because he's healthy. Okay, cool.
I mean, hell, it'll be just in time for next Double or Nothing.
There you go. But again, separate this shit now. I'm done. I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, you've had a great, solid match between Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Mm-hmm. We can move on now. Warjo. New tag team running around.
Nice tag team. I like it.
Nice tag team. They work well together. Get an unsurprising victory over QT and Nick Camarado.
Goddamn squash.
Yeah, squash tag team match. But then they were, of course, interrupted by Brian Cage and the Embassy, who are then interrupted by FTR to a thunderous ovation. I never get tired of hearing the crowd pop for FTR.
It's a great thing to hear them pop for them. It's great to see them pop. That theme is great. They barely show up, and they still get this fucking gigantic reaction. It's awesome.
So gigantic, Dax lets out an F-bomb. And I died.
That was fantastic.
He can't speak because the crowd is so loud and they won't let him speak, and he's just like, fucking hell.
He's just beyond himself, which is the best. The fucking best.
Oh, man. I want to hear TBS on the phone to Tony now. We told you no more F-bombs.
We told you. Stop it. My bad. Oh, here we go. Did they hang up the phone? We're on speaker. Shit.
Oh, man. I love Dax on the mic. You can almost guarantee an F-bomb is going to slip out. He just doesn't give a shit.
Well, I think he is emotionally overwhelmed by the reaction, and it's hard to hold himself back.
Yeah. Which is kind of surprising because it makes him come across as quite modest, and you shouldn't be.
No, dude, you guys are literally the best tag team out there right now.
Yeah. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You're definitely going to win Tag Team of the Year at the Maxis this year.
Facts. And
I'm saying this like Dax is listening. Dax, you're going to win a Maxi.
Bro, if you're not listening, you should be. Okay? Let me put it to you like that.
We'll rename it the Daxies if you listen.
There we go.
And another return on Dynamite 2, which also got a very surprising ovation with Shawn Spears with an apparent face turn.
When he got a big ass pop and looked face as a motherfucker, I was just like, you know what? He needed this hiatus. Whatever the fuck reason his hiatus was about, I think it was pretty much just because he was getting married or whatever. I think
they were trying for a baby.
I think they are having one or something like that.
Yeah.
So good for them. Congratulations. But yeah, no, good for him. Another guy. I love the way Dax said it. He's just like, the guys, he's like a 10, you know what I mean? And there are people immediately going bananas. I love how they still build off of the old NXT fame to help build him. Shawn Spears, though, is good. He's charismatic as all hell. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Now, you gotta put him in the right light. And right now, it looks like it's all systems are a go. So I hope this works out. I really, really do. I want this guy to hang out.
Yeah, he's had, honestly, a disappointing run in AEW, but
yeah,
maybe it's because he's been a heel. Maybe it just doesn't work as a heel, but because he's a great face. Everybody loves the 10 gimmick.
I mean, again, yes, granted, they were in Canada. Blah, 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 blah. He's a homer. I still think he would have garnered that pop just about anywhere else because the guy was missed. He is really liked. So I could see this being a thing, So good for him. I don't need to see him jump right into like a title picture or anything, but I'm glad he's back.
Yeah. He was definitely a face, like showing up with the face side of the ring. And also like most of that ring was, apart from Joe, everybody in that ring was the Pinnacle. Minus MJF, of course.
Minus MJF.
So there was that awkward, tense moment between him and Wardlow because I think probably last time we saw Spears, he was just getting his ass kicked by Wardlow.
That's true. They were kicking him out of the Pinnacle and all this, and then they were beating the shit out of him. You're absolutely right.
So yeah, hopefully this is the beginning of a decent run for Spears in AEW. I think he's been a heel his whole time in AEW, so it'll be a nice change for him. And again, the 10 gimmick never stops being over.
No, it'll never stop, dude. It's a great gimmick. Keep using it. Plug the fuck out of it. Just figure out some way to fucking steal it from the E if it hasn't already, and give it back to the guy somehow. Seriously, I'm fucking serious.
He doesn't really have to do anything. Like, it's not really a gimmick. It's like, what is the 10 gimmick? Well, he's a perfect 10.
That's it. Figure out how to mess that in so he can do the 10, and that's it. That's it.
Maybe he needs the legal services of Smart Mark Sterling. After Swerve defeated Daddy Ass, which was accompanied by the Scissor Nation Army.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coining that one. I haven't seen that anywhere, but I'm coining Scissor Nation Army.
As you should. That is fantastic.
Smart Mark Sterling reveals he's bought the copyrights to Scissor Me. So the Acclaimed can no longer use the catchphrase. They can no longer print T-shirts, or if they do, the money goes to him. And they can't do the hand gesture.
So the fucking hilarious part of this whole thing is AEW really went out and trademarked the term Scissor Me. And the funniest part about that is actually to make matters even funnier, is if you look at the name on the copyright, it actually does not say All Elite Wrestling. It says Mark Sterling.
So he's literally bought the copyright.
He's literally, but it is all for it. The company did it. It is all for.
I'm sure it's Tony's money.
Storyline. Yeah, it's all for fucking storyline. But there is a literal copywritten document for that term with his fucking name on it, and it is as legit as can be. This is fucking awesome.
I mean, obviously, it's going to lead to a match where the rights to the catchphrase are on the line, preferably a scissors on a pole match or something.
Not a pole, please, not a pole match. Anything but a pole match. But whatever it is, it's going to be fucking hilarious. And the gigantic pop of the crowd when they can finally do the scissors again, it's going to be ridiculous.
No, let's put it on a pole, because then you're going to have Anthony Bowen saying, "Scissor me on a pole."
That's fucking, god damn it, that makes it sound awesome. Fucking TK, stop listening right now.
Also, Billy Gunn, whatever the fuck we're calling him now, Daddy Ass, has no business looking that good. And he's literally been wrestling as long as I've been alive.
58 years old. The man is 58 years old and is beyond. He's the size of Wardlow.
Yeah.
He's the size of fucking Wardlow. Like, why and how? How are you bigger than both of your kids combined?
He's in better shape now than he was in his prime in the WWE.
This is the best shape of his life at 58.
It's all down to scissoring.
Hey, that's the key of life. Get you scissor people to your left and scissor people to your right.
Like, he's in such a good shape. I didn't mind seeing 58-year-old Billy Gunn in a match on national TV in 2022.
I mean, he did pretty good. It wasn't like it wasn't great. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't extraordinarily spectacular, but it was good. It was entertaining. The fucking teasing of the mooning was always the best. I fucking love it. He's been doing that shit forever.
Yeah, he's an ass man.
That he is.
Then we had a face-to-face with Mox and Hangman. Hangman's promo was a bit of a marathon. Like, it took him a while to get there, and he slipped a couple of times, but he got fired up. He punched himself maybe a little too hard in the face because it's like he looked like Two-Face. Half his face was just fucking red. And of course he acknowledged his friends disappearing, which hit on a high note with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
But even after all that, I'm still on Mox's side.
I understand. I loved his promo. I loved every little bit of it. He comes out, he asked Mox right off the bat. He's like, do you still see me as a child? And he's, yeah, I do. And he fucking fires up. And yes, he's frustrated and he's pissed off. And he can't sleep. He can't eat. He's what is he said? He's got anxiety. He's depressed. He lost his friends, which already makes you think, does that mean either he wins or he gets his friends back? Or is it just his way of throwing it out there to throw it out there to garner some heat? Which it's very possible. It's very, very possible. Because the reality is like the situation on that has completely stalled. Nothing's changed. So I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. But he's getting all this out, and the passion is there, the fire is there, and it makes me think that maybe, just maybe, he could be the guy to beat Mox. Now, we all know that you can literally have MJF like sneak in there, fuck it all up. We could do a lot of things, but I don't know what, right now, what would be the better story? Mox and MJF, Hangman and MJF, two young pillars, or the only 3-time AEW champion against the, once in a generation talent,
who has never won the world title.
Exactly. Who's never won a world title. So, I mean, I'm loving where this is going. I loved all of Hangman's promos, but like more questions than answers. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. It's more questions than answers. Are the Bucks coming back? Is Kenny coming back? What happens if you lose? Are you going to go dark? Or randomly, are you going to join the Dark Order? Are you going to go away again? There's too many questions to this. There's too many questions. I would love Mox to win. I would love it to be Mox and MJF one-on-one. No big deal. No problem. But then again, I'm already with the idea of, are you wasting Hangman again? I mean, and he's not like stupidly over like he was. I mean, he's over, but he's not stupidly over. But is he wasteful over? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first time in the first build up to his world title win was lightning in a bottle.
Oh yeah.
They don't have that anymore. And if he was to beat Mox, he would be a transitional champ because we all know it's going to MJF eventually.
Oh yeah, within due time, it is going to go to MJF, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine because that's how it should be. He is obviously the right choice to be champ. The question is how soon are they going to pull the trigger? We're ready for it today, tomorrow, next week, no problem. When can they get ready for it? You know
I also like this underlying situation between these two that nobody's acknowledged yet. That we have Hangman, who is notoriously an alcoholic cowboy, and we have Mox, who's literally a recovering alcoholic.
Nice. No, that fun dynamic has not been brought up.
I mean, Hangman's pretty sober these days anyway, so.
This is true. He ain't got much to celebratory drink about. Maybe he's drinking in his sorrows.
Yeah. It's weird. He kind of stopped drinking after he became world champion.
Something told you to get sobered up. I don't know.
I'm not sure how I felt about the order of the last 3 matches. Like, obviously, the women's tag was just filler.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they should have ended with, like, obviously it was a huge moment for Orange Cassidy winning his first title, and great match against Pac. But we had a world title between Jericho and Danielson, and not only that, but it was the Ring of Honor world title, which they're supposed to be raising the profile of. And then we had the fully heel turn from Danny Garcia at the end, showing his true colors, which felt more like an ending.
Mm-hmm. You're hitting the nail on the head here, but I was saying the same thing. And I'm like looking at it, and my thought process goes like, TK, bro, are you really like this petty? And I say it like that because the reality is just because it says Ring of Honor World Championship, you're like, no. AEW goes on last. I understand because, AEW, we're on an AEW Dynamite and blah, 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 blah. But as you just said beautifully, you're trying to build up Ring of Honor. What better way to build up Ring of Honor than simply take a world championship match between two megastars, two very well-known megastars, and Bryan Danielson. I totally butchered the fuck out of his name. Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho. And on top of that, so you have your Sunday, okay? You got your Sunday, you got your banana split, whatever the fuck you want. And now you're about to get your whipped cream and icing on top, even the cherry if you want, by adding in the simple story of Danny Garcia not knowing where he wants to be. What is his, does he want to be a sports entertainer, or does he want to be a pro wrestler? Does he want to join the Blackpool Combat Club? Does he want to just stay with Jericho? All that, your 1,000% should have been your main event because of everything that it was. I'm not saying push, and here's the reality. Orange Cassidy was fucking due a title, okay? And I've been saying this for a minute. I've been saying this, that the Atlantic belt is the best one possible. Like, if you want him to go around and travel and work and do that, he'll do it, and he'll be good at it. But him winning is awesome, but it didn't need to close the show.
No.
The Sunday at the end, with the big feud and the big names and the other story with Danny Garcia, that ends your show. Not just because it's the Ring of Honor World Championship, because there's so much substance in it. Let me emphasize that. Not just because it's the Ring of Honor World Championship, but because there's way more substance to that story than there was Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Plain and simple. Again, no disrespect towards OC. Congratulations. The belt looks good on you. Those matches should have been flip-flopped.
Yeah. It was a cool moment, confetti and everything.
Yeah.
But then, okay, now we cool down a little bit with the women's tag just to, get ourselves back together, ready for the main event. Then you got the whole, like you said, Danny Garcia turning and everything at the end. That's a pro wrestling closer.
That's a pro wrestling closer. The everything match, the good match, plus the story, plus the this and the this. Go home, people. Let people go home not only satisfied, but with questions. That way you have a reason to tune in on Friday, on next Wednesday, and so on and so on.
Yeah, JR wasn't uncommented. They could have done with JR for the Danny Garcia moment going, why'd you do that, you bastard?
Oh, you bastard. You son of a bitch. Why? Tell me why.
So, order aside, it was a good show.
Yeah.
I remember we were saying before the show, a few of us on Max, how there's something missing from AEW and it doesn't really feel like much hype for this show. It was a good preview card, but nothing to go, oh shit, I need to watch this. But when you do watch it, it was a great show.
Yeah, and that's what AEW tends to deliver. It feels like you've gotten used to the big name against a big name, or the big name debuting it. You've gotten used to it. And then I'm gonna say it like this. Maybe it's just me, but I do know that there is a missing element when guys like CM Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks are not here. Okay, the Young Bucks made that tag division. They made that tag division. Fucking Nick Jackson helped with the help of Phoenix, got the first 5-star rating on a Dynamite. Okay, fucking CM Punk helped draw the biggest number of 2022 when he debuted. Okay, Kenny Omega people have been pondering for him to come back, to the point where they're fucking watching his goddamn Twitch feeds and they're fucking following him doing fucking interviews in Japan at some fucking Sega gimmick or whatever the fuck. And the guy was back for fucking 4 weeks and he's gone. There is a missing element to this show. And until they figure out what the fuck's going on, there's going to continue to be a missing element. And they're trying their best to fill that gap. And again, this is my opinion. It is hard to fill the gap of a Kenny Omega, of a CM Punk, especially when they leave with such a sour taste.
Yeah.
It'd been different if, like, oh, Punk's contract expired. No, don't go. Or, Kenny's shit expired and he goes back to Japan. Oh, don't go. It's different. This is way different. These are dudes that had a fucking stupid beef that this thing is blown out of proportion. They're still fucking gone. And because of it, your show is dragging a little bit.
I think also, like, TK tends to rely on just, here's all the matches, watch the show. Whereas, even though there's some storylines going on, it's not really advertised with the storylines.
Yeah,
like
he is not. Go ahead. He's not one to push a story.
No.
He expects you to understand the story, see the story, follow the story. I'm not huge into the promo stuff, but sometimes you need a little bit extra in the story. Even if it's just a couple of minutes. It's sometimes necessary.
Yeah.
You
can sell, like, indie shows based on just a match card, but when it's like a TV show and you've got network sponsors and stuff, and you're trying to attract mainstream viewers, you need a little bit more than just these guys are facing each other.
Yeah, you throw out a card. You know what I mean? That's okay. And that's where, should we get excited over it? Sure. Can we? Sure. Does everybody? No. Because some people don't mind looking at a piece of paper and say, oh, that's what's going to go down? Cool, I'm down. And some people look at it, that's what's going to go down? Well, why should I watch?
As opposed to, like, the first few world title feuds we had in AEW with, like, Jericho and Cody, I think MJF, and then Mox. There was personal stuff going on, so you had to watch it.
Oh, yeah, big time. The way they were going after fucking Mox's eye and all this other. Like, there was proper builds. There wasn't just, I won this match, now you're in my way, and I'm going to take this belt because you called me a child. And MJF is up there just pondering, fucking, tapping drum beats on his goddamn briefcase. And
it doesn't help that the world title feud right now is two baby faces.
Yeah, that just makes it weird.
Like, it's okay to have a face versus a face every now and again, but you'll get this message on my GM mode on 2K22. Face versus face is okay every now and again, but you need face versus heel to sell it.
Exactly. Somebody needs to play the bad guy.
It's gotta be the good guy versus the bad guy.
It's just how it works.
But yeah, overall, it was a great show. It was just, there was nothing before the show to really attract mainstream viewers, which is what they need, because they're still just shy on that 1 million mark.
Don't get me wrong. The idea of, oh, hey, Jericho and Danielson in a world title match, watch, sure, is going to attract a wrestling fan, maybe even a couple casuals. But you need more if you're gonna put out a weekly show and yeah, we can all make the fucking argument. Oh, it's baseball season. Oh, it's football season. Oh, this is happening. Oh, that's. If you wanted if you wanted better viewers, you would figure out how to garner their attention better.
Yeah,
and but this ain't it.
You look at the marketing for Raw in comparison. It was like, shit, Bray Wyatt returned to Extreme Rules. We got to watch Raw to see what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, Brock Lesnar's going to return, and we're going to find out who he's going to face in Saudi.
Yeah, exactly. You had a reason to, oh, this big thing happened, let's watch. Oh, this big thing happened. Okay, cool, let's watch.
Whereas Dynamite was just like, here's a couple of title matches.
Well, no, so let's look at it as let's say I was the excited guy going in. Now let's look at it going out. Well, Brian Danielson lost the thing, which sucks because he's always lost every title match. So I'm going to be a little bummed about that. Daniel Garcia with a cool double turn. Now I'm immediately asking the question, is he ever going to turn on Jericho, or is this just going to be, a thing? Then you turn around and you look at all the other stuff. Okay, well, they're dragging out Christian Cage and Jungle. Like, you can look at it and get negative. Immediately get negative. There wasn't a lot to take away from this show. There's not a lot making me want to come back next week. I know Danny Garcia has already picked sides. You know, Orange Cassidy, I don't get to see his next 5 title reigns by next week. You know, I'm not going to see him, wrestle on Friday. You know, you're giving me matches and just telling me this is it. And I need more to it. Like, look at New Japan. Like, New Japan, they give you a shit ton of matches, but they're all surrounding a fucking feud. You know what I mean? Oh, this guy's going to take on this guy, but in 4 weeks, instead, we're going to give you a bunch of 6-mans to tease the idea of them fighting each other one-on-one. Then when they finally get in there, it's a brutal fight because they've been clamoring to get at each other forever. There's not a lot taken away.
Next week, we kind of do have a little something different to look forward to. We know it's going to be Mox and Hangman, and we know there's a possibility of what's MJF going to do. Is he going to cash in? So yeah, next week's got a little bit of extra marketing, but
just a tad bit of extra, anticipation for next week. Just a tad.
Yeah. So let's move on from Dynamite, because that's pretty much it. And now it's time for the A to B of Retro Rewind.
SMR Podcast Network. You should be listening.
Retro so we're let's see what we were doing. I'm over here looking through my notes vividly. I want to say we're already November. Did we do the 25th? No, I writ the 25th. I did not do the 25th. Quick, let's just get into it real fast. WCW United States Championship Tournament. Arn Anderson and Lex Luger were there in the first round of it, which is kind of, I was already thinking it's a little weird for me because it was like they just literally got done with a feud to the point where fucking Lex Luger sent Arn Anderson to the hospital. So I was like, okay, but wasn't a bad match. I gave it a 3. I actually enjoyed it. It went a little long though, super into the fucking commercial, but it is what it is. We were talking shit about Disco Inferno last week. Well, I got to see him get his ass beat by DDP, so that's good news for me. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't too much more to talk about. As far as, we got Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio, but they got all of 2 minutes in. I got excited for it. I was all ready for my notes, and then fucking DQ because... Yeah, Sonny Ono ruined it, so it is what it is. But good stuff. Again, the date is November the 25th, 1996. This guy should be dropping this weekend, if not Monday. With that being said, midterms is the next 3 weeks, so if things slow down for the Retro, don't be surprised.
All right. So now let's find... There's been no backstage fights this week, so let's find out who's the Geek of the Week.
Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-cut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek.
All right, Geek of the Week. I don't think I've ever crowned him Geek of the Week, but you know what? People put their foot in their mouth more than they don't in professional wrestling, especially when you're a dirt sheet writer. And then apparently this guy is just renowned, hated, and all this other fucking crap. So for this week, and hopefully he listens and gets it better next week. I fucking doubt it. Dave Meltzer. The king of the matches, of the star matches, you, sir, this week are the Geek of the Week because Bray Wyatt looks a little heavy. And you know what, big dog? Sometimes heavy means happy. And I'd rather he be heavy and happy than depressed and skinny.
Right on. No, yeah, he has not been Geek of the Week yet.
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
Bruce Pritchard has.
Shocker.
Finally, this week's wrestler or bestler of the week. very easy. If I was to base it on not wrestling, then it could have gone to Bray. It could have gone to I went to call him Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears, the OC. We had a couple of returns this week, but in terms of having an actual match, I think it's got to go to Orange Cassidy for his first title win, main event in Dynamite, and defeating Pac after a great match.
Fantastic match. Good match. Good stuff.
Good for you, OC. You can tell he's very excited about it.
Oh, yeah, the thumb went all the way up.
So thank you for spending your Thursday with us. Here's the socials again. You can find us on the evil Twitter machine at Max Wrestling UK, the Captain 512, and at SMR Podnet. Check out our website, maxwrestling.net, and don't forget to hit the sub or the follow button on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials, Max Wrestling UK. And now listen up, you pencil neck geeks. This is what Moses has for you this week.
That's right. So first and foremost, TikTok, get back on the TikTok. Max Wrestling UK on TikTok is back. We're going to keep that thing as rocking as long as possible. The interaction from the listeners and viewers is what keeps that thing going. So I need comments, I need views, I need shares, I need the whole schmabiscuit. So again, Max Wrestling UK, TikTok. November the 25th, 1996 is going to be the last retro for the next couple of weeks. Again, midterms in college is a thing going around for everybody. So you college heads out there that are listening, you're shaking your head vividly. You ain't getting no sleep either, because neither am I, because midterms are here, baby. So it is what it is. But it's okay. You're going to have plenty of retros to listen to hang out with. And it breaks my heart to say it, but Bolt Rant started real rough this year and ended extra rough, so we're just gonna push it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wait for the draft. When the draft hits, we're gonna re-ramp up coverage, and because that's honestly my favorite part of the whole fucking thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, doing the draft stuff. So keep your ears out for January, February-ish for some more Bolt Rant for those out there for Bolt Rant. But yeah, retro is gonna drop this weekend, and then a little bit of a hiatus, but we're good to go there. And last, but again, the most important is the TikTok. Got to do it. Got to get on there.
Yeah.
Oh, and get on fucking Facebook, okay? Travis Walker Anderson does not need to be MVP for the 948th day, okay? I don't need it. You don't need it. We don't need it. Get in there and be interactive. We all talk to each other. It's a fun social place. Max Wrestling on Facebook. Get in the group. Share some stuff. Oh, you saw a post over here that you like, throw it in there. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's be just as interactive as you people are on TikTok.
You're going to like this. Today, Travis is on day 420 as group MVP.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Jeez Louise.
So from, what'd I say? From 2 weeks' time, then you need to start posting in the group. I know we've had some posts recently from people, so it's getting there.
Getting there.
And in 4 weeks, it's our 400th episode.
Let's go. 4 weeks away.
Also, Throne Zone still going strong. Newest episode is out. We have 2 episodes of House of the Dragon left. Hopefully, we can do an episode for each one. If not, then we're going to be doing a double whammy for the grand finale. But yeah, it's going good.
I love it.
And with that said, join us next week as we discuss everything that's been going on in wrestling, including Hangman versus Mox for the world title. Is MJF going to cash in his chip? We'll find out on Tuesday next week.
Tuesday. That's right. Goddamn baseball interrupted.
At least it's on before we do the show.
Facts. Good stuff.
You've been watching the Gap and Mo. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night.
Cypher, I'm telling you, baby, get that training going. Get it ready.